Hi everyone, how are you doing? I know that this time of year can be a little extra challenging and extra busy and stressful with all of the holiday things going on, with so much more on our plates, and we still have to keep up with all of our regular things like laundry and cooking and taking care of kids and school and work and all of that on top of buying Christmas presents and trying to create wonderful memories and all of that. Christmas is almost a week away. I cannot believe it. And I got such a great question from one of you, Katya, in the Facebook group. And I thought it was such an awesome question that I wanted to answer it for all of you and share some of the ideas. I hope this will be helpful for you. So here's what Katya wrote. I'm struggling with some ideas because we're having my husband's sister's family over for 3 full days and 2 full days. So Wednesday night till Sunday morning. I won't have a lot of cook time while they're here, and frankly, I don't want to be in the kitchen the whole time. I get you, girl. Do you have any suggestions for main meat dishes and really any suggestions for meal ideas? I'm thinking to focus on making Christmas lunch special and the other days to be a little simpler, but I still kind of struggle with making all the meals come together and use leftovers but not plan on them if we finish something. It's one thing when we have people coming over for just one dinner or just one day, like Christmas Day, everybody gets at your house, or Thanksgiving, and you have some time in advance to prep. What often happens with many of us, especially around the holidays, is that we'll have family or friends coming over for several days and they'll stay with us in our home. So we don't have as much time, and we have them staying for many, many meals. So breakfast, lunches, dinners, snacks. So we have to think of all of that. And of course, we want people to have a good time in our home, to have enough food, to enjoy the food. So it can be a little bit stressful. So here's some things that I'm going to recommend. I think you're already on the right step that you're saying you want to make lunch special on Christmas and the rest of the meals simpler. That is perfect. When you have a lot of people, not a lot of time, and a lot of meals to prepare, try to think of foods that you can cook quickly or with the least amount of effort from you. Roasting a whole chicken or two, if we have a lot of people coming over, is much easier and much less effort on my part, because all I have to do is season the meat, put it in the oven, and that's it. My job is done. I just have to keep an eye on it and make sure that it cooks through. Now compare that to making breaded chicken tenders, and I have to stand there and bread the chicken, stand at the stove and cook it and flip it. That takes a lot more work on my part. Here's some other great ideas of main courses, meat dishes that don't take a lot of effort on your part, but you get a lot of food out of it. A baked ham is a great idea because there's a lot of meat on there. You just have to put it in the oven and bake it. And even if you put a glaze on it, the glaze doesn't take a lot of work. Or even a turkey, which all you have to do is season, a roast beef, roast pork loin, anything like that, that all you have to do is season it and then put it into the oven is great. Consider serving a whole fillet of fish. That's also really great for a lot of people because you can get a whole fillet on a baking sheet, put it in the oven, and that's also really easy. Use your Instant Pot and slow cooker to make some of these things, like stick a whole roast into the Instant Pot and make some pulled pork, and you can make so many things out of that. Or put some chicken into the slow cooker or the Instant Pot and then just shred it up and add some barbecue sauce to it or some tomato sauce to it, and you can do so many things with that too. Soup is another great option. You can make a big pot of soup, buy some bread from the grocery store, and if you want to put in an extra special touch, put that bread into the oven for 5 minutes, warm it up, and get some butter. It's gonna be amazing. Everybody's gonna feel so spoiled with that warm bread. Put some butter on it, some warm soup. It's gonna be so comforting, and people love soup. There's so many easy soups that you can do, and you can have a big portion of food, not a lot of effort, and you can feed so many people with a big pot of soup. Chicken noodle soup is a great option. Most people love it. Even the pickiest eaters will usually like chicken noodle soup, so that is an excellent option. Some other great options for when you have people over are to serve things that people can customize, because obviously people have different taste preferences, allergies, or they're on different diets. So burrito bowls and baked potato bar are two of my suggestions for that. Burrito bowls are awesome when you have company over. Cook up a big pot of rice, either white rice or brown rice, whatever you prefer, and then make all kinds of different toppings. Make some of that pulled pork or pulled chicken, like I mentioned earlier, in your Instant Pot or your crock pot, and then you can serve that meat on top of the rice, and then lots of different toppings: shredded cheese, lettuce, corn, tomato salsa. You can buy salsa, guacamole, or just chop up some avocados. There's so many options for burrito bowls, and you can just put it all on your island or on the table, and people can just serve themselves and customize it to whatever they prefer. You can also do this with baked potatoes. Get a large baking sheet, top it with a rack, and put a bunch of potatoes on it. Stick it in the oven until they're baked, and then everybody can make themselves a loaded baked potato however they like it. So of course, have butter, sour cream, some green onions, some other fresh herbs, and then you can also cook up some taco meat, some ground meat, cook it up, add some taco seasoning to it. You can cook up some of the pulled pork or the pulled chicken. That'll work really great too. Saute some onions or just bacon. There's so many different options that you can choose. Keep it as simple as you want or add as many varieties as you want. You can have your guests help you set everything up, help you chop things, and usually these things don't take a lot of effort to put together. You can feed a lot of people, and everybody absolutely loves these dinner ideas. You can buy some sausages from the store and put them in the oven and cook them up. Serve it with some potatoes or pasta or rice with some salad, and it's a very easy dinner and feeds a lot of people. I think you're getting the idea of where I'm going with all of these meals. And then, of course, you can make things in advance. So you still have a little bit of time, not a lot, but you still have a little bit of time. So you can make a few things in advance, put it in your freezer, and then when everybody's there, you don't want to be in the kitchen all the time. Obviously, I don't either. So when I know that I'm going to have company coming over, before they even get there, I try to do a few things so that I have some options that are really quick and I'm not going to have to do a lot of cooking when everybody's at my house already. Meatballs are awesome because you can freeze them and then all you have to do is thaw them and serve them with a sauce, and that's it. Very easy. But another thing about meatballs is that you can make them and bake them in the oven. You can get a large baking sheet, fill it up with meatballs, so you cook them for like 15 minutes in the oven. So it's very quick and you can get a lot of food out of just a few meal prepping sessions like this. Take some time, make those meatballs, put them in your freezer, and that'll be a great meal for you to have when people are over. You can add some barbecue sauce to the meatballs or just jarred tomato sauce. Add some vegetables to it, make like a creamy sauce with some dill and onions and make it kind of like a meatball stroganoff meatballs. Those are really yummy and very easy too. There's lots of really delicious meals that you can make in advance, stick them in your freezer, and then when your guests are here, just thaw them, reheat them, and that's all the effort that it takes. I have this resource for you guys, Cook Once, Eat Twice. So look on the website below the video where I talk about this, and you'll find this PDF. And look at all of these ideas here. So first here, Cook Once, Eat Twice, creatively repurposed leftovers. And this is a roast chicken and lots of ways how you can repurpose leftover chicken. So if you do make a roast chicken and you have leftover chicken, there's so many things that you can make for the next meal for an easy lunch, like chop up the leftover chicken, make a chicken salad, or make some chicken wraps or quesadillas. There's lots of ideas here. Same thing with pork and beef. Pork, the pulled pork. I have all these recipes on my website too, so check them out. Steak. And then this is meals that reheat really well. So all of these reheat really well. And then I have a little FF symbol next to the ones that are freezer friendly. So all of the meals here can freeze really well. So lasagna, lazy lasagna. This is kind of like a ziti. Stuffed peppers, stroganoff meatballs, honey garlic glazed meatballs, cotlette. And all of these, look, there's so many great options. You can pick any of them, store them in your freezer, and then just reheat them. Add a simple salad and you're good to go. So all of these are great options for things that reheat well and freeze well too. So check it out. Oh, more. Look, I have so many options here already. So if you're looking for ideas, I've got them for you. I already did the work of thinking through all of these options so you can check them out there. And these are all soups that reheat really well too. Lastly, let's talk about breakfast and lunches. So as a general rule of thumb, when we have lots of people over, actually this is what I do with my family too. I try to make only one meal that's a little bit more work on my part. Or if you're doing one of those meals from the freezer, that's not a lot of work either. So you win. All day you can have very little work in the kitchen. But if I'm going to make baked potatoes and all of those things for dinner, and make something, roast chicken, then for breakfast and lunch, I like to keep it super simple. And if you're making something more special for lunch, then make dinner really easy. Make some sandwiches and tea. There's also a lot of great options for breakfast that you can make in advance and freeze. For example, muffins and scones, burritos. Breakfast burritos are great. All of these, I have recipes on my website. Check them out. And I also explain how to freeze them too. So all of these things you can make now and freeze, so you have a few easy breakfast options. But here's a few great breakfast and lunch ideas that don't take a lot of prep at all. You can buy a bunch of bagels and lots of bagel spreads and toppings, and people can make their own bagels or cook up some eggs and everybody can have like bagel egg sandwiches or English muffins or croissants. Any of those will work. Or use any of those things, bagels, croissants, and bread or whatever, and make sandwiches and buy different deli options, and then people can make their own sandwiches or you can make those sandwiches. Those are always easy and filling. If you have a lot of people, then for breakfast, think about making scrambled eggs instead of making individual omelets for every single person, or frying up a bunch of eggs because somebody likes them hard, somebody likes them sunny side up. So you're making like a bunch of eggs for 15 people. It's going to take a lot of time. Scrambling them up is easy because you do it in one skillet and then everybody gets them at the same time. Use your oven to cook up a lot of bacon at the same time. And breakfast casseroles are also another great idea. You can either make a bread and egg casserole and put it in the oven, hash browns and bacon and eggs and everything, mix it all up. You can often make those breakfast casseroles the night before and then just put them in the oven. Plus, it's going to feed everybody at the same time and you don't have to stand at the stove and make individual breakfast for everybody. Chop up a big bowl of salad that stays well for days, like some fruit salads keep well for days, or some Russian salads like vinaigrette or olivier. You can chop them up. They'll stay good in the refrigerator. You can just pull them out of the refrigerator and there you have it, a very easy meal. I hope these tips and ideas were helpful for all of you. If you have any ideas to share, that would be awesome. Type them in the comments below and let us know what you like to do when you have overnight guests, especially around the holidays when you want to make some special meals, but you want to spend as less time in the kitchen as possible so you could be with your family. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, and I wish for all of you to spend most of the holidays spending time with your family, creating memories, not being stuck in the kitchen cooking for everybody. That's what meal planning and meal prepping is all about, making your life easier and giving you more time.